Hi everybody, welcome to my Wargames hobby channel. Tonight I'm replaying the Battle of Cheriton, which took place in 1644 and was between the Royalists and the Parliamentarians just to the east of Winchester. Let me show you the game. Alright, so here's the game. I'm going to be on the Royalist side, on this flank. Neil's my partner on the other side, and we got Dom here waiting for reinforcements.
I'm just waiting.
He's on his own at the moment.
I usually play Royalist, so I'm quite happy to have Parliamentarian and die.
Parliamentarian tonight.
There you go. I'm usually Royalist.
Well, they won on the day, so we expect big things.
For this battle, we're using the pike and shot rules published by Warlord Games. We're also using the To Kill a King supplement, which in fact does feature the Battle of Cheriton in there anyway, which is really useful. The lists there that we followed the list exactly as they put down. It might vary a little bit on that, but it's pretty good. And there's my breakdown of the troops that are used in this battle, both sides, so we know how many units we need for each. And that's roughly the layout that you'll see when we start the game, which is a pretty good reflection of what the fields and the hedges look like.
Right, so on the left we have Sir Arthur Hasselrig, which is this chap in the middle. He's got his cavalry behind him, and some shot in front, and some dragoons in the middle. Then in the middle of the centre of the Parliamentarian army, we've got a lot of infantry with pike, as you can see. And then on the right, over there, the Parliamentarian right is Sir William Balfour. So he's over there somewhere.
He's there.
Yeah, there he is, in front of the cavalry.
Can't you see him? Yeah.
So they are actually, on the day, the Parliamentarians actually did sort of defend. And the Royalists did all the attacking. So let me show you what the Royalists are. On the right, over here, there's Lord Forth, because the Royalists actually had two commanders on the day, which probably wasn't the best thing really. But on the right is Sir George Lisle, which is these infantry at the front here, backed up by Lord John Stewart with some horse. Then in the centre we've got Hopton is over there. Is that Hopton, Neil? Yeah.
Yes, that's Hopton.
And in front of him he's got two divisions of foot each, of one unit of pike and two of musket. In fact, this unit here should be with them as well, but we transferred those over to my command today because otherwise they're a little bit imbalanced. Behind the infantry with Sir John Smythe, some more Royalist cavalry, and on the far left over here we have Sir Matthew Appleyard with two units of commanded shot. They're the guys that took Cheriton Wood earlier in the morning, so now they've lined up to do battle. Now on the day, just to explain historically what happened, these units here, they were supposed to be defending, but for some reason Lord Forth decided he was going to push forward to encourage the Parliamentarians to go away. So he sent this brigade here forward. Sorry, that one there. But one of the regiments went a little bit too far and ended up over here, and they got charged and flanked by lots of cavalry and they got wiped out. So then he started to send more troops in to try and retrieve the situation, and it all went horribly wrong. Anyway, I shall do a video about the battle later, and then you can listen to actually historically what happened on the day. We're going to play it as a war game now, so that man isn't going to go off, that regiment isn't going to go off on its own, it's going to stay with the rest, and we'll just play it as a normal war game. It'll be interesting to see whether at the end of the day the game works out the same as what it did historically. Right, so there we go. I won't record the whole thing, I'm just going to do highlights, which is what I normally do. We'll make moves and I'll report back how it's going. Right. Let's see how we get on.
I think I watched it on repeat.
Right, the Royalists have made the first move. As you can see, they've moved up all along the front
Right,
there.
let's start with this
I
command
don't think
over here.
anyone failed. And we did some shooting with artillery. I
Move
missed
both the commanded
completely.
shot up to the hedge line.
And Neil managed to cause
8, one move.
casualties over here, as you can see. All my muskets opened fire as well. These commanded shot. But they didn't cause any casualties. They failed miserably.
And I moved the building.
And now you can see Dom is now moving up the
I assume they
parliamentarians,
just get in the way.
shifting the building a little bit to get his troops through.
It's small.
Right, there you go.
Oh, I can do it that way then. What's I do? We're going to start with.
Right, quick update. The Royalists are moving forward. We're opening fire now, but we're not doing a lot of damage.
So I'm going to swing
Well,
that as far up that way as I possibly
Neil's doing some
can.
damage in the middle there.
Well, up behind the.
But I'm not doing a great deal of damage over here at the moment. I'm not throwing very well, which is normal for me. Right, a quick update. The Royalists are moving up across the whole battlefield. We're doing some firing now. We're causing damage, but nothing dramatic yet. And over here, I'm not doing very well at all. These were disordered. They fired at a lesser effect anyway. Didn't do any damage. The dragoons didn't do any damage, and these guys didn't do any damage either. So not doing very well. I did manage to cause a casualty over here. So it's still very early days. Poor Dom's still fighting on his own. His partner's not here yet, but he will be here soon, hopefully. Dom is now moving up with cavalry. Dragoons don't look very happy. He's got to fight over that hedge, so hopefully that'll give me a slight advantage. He's still fighting on his own, unfortunately, but John's due here any minute.
Imminent.
Imminent.
All these could do.
The infantry really good
Right,
value.
quick update. Things are starting to pick up here. These dragoons and these musketeers opened fire on the cavalry and caused two casualties, and they are disordered. These were disordered as well by these guys shooting. And there's a massive firefight going on in the middle. I'm not sure who's winning that.
I'm going to do this. I did, I passed.
I think in fact the
They're going
parliamentarians
to
are
do an
getting a lot of
initiative
casualties at the
move
moment.
away
A lot of casualties at the moment.
because there's no point in them staying there shaking
Yeah,
and
the
disordered.
parliamentarians are getting
Just
fired upon
so
by
they
a
remain
lot of
shaking.
royalists.
Actually, they weren't disordered, but
Did you make sure you won?
Right, it's getting very close to the middle here. There's a lot of fighting going on. No real big advantage to anyone. The parliamentarians seem to be losing more to shooting than the royalists. Jonathan's arrived, so he can help now Dom. So at least we've got 2 against 2 again. And I think the next couple of moves, it's all going to start to happen. At the moment, although they've got the same amount of infantry, the royalists are making better use of their musketeers. The parliamentarians are a little bit squeezed in the middle here, and they can't bring their firepower to bear yet. When they do, the royalists could be in trouble. But the centre here is looking very
The
bleak.
gay character, I assume. Transgender one.
Right, I didn't know back later. Okay, next move. This green pike unit in here.
we got the commander for that thing.
Right, so importantly, this pike unit that's here moved across. Those had to retreat, we had to break, and now they're targeting another musketeer unit. So that this pike block have been a bit of a pain. Over here, Hasselrig, who's a level 7 commander, keeps failing to do much. So they have the opportunity to move up, and they keep failing. And of course, you can't rally any of the.
They've got far too strong.
You can't rally any of the hits on either. It doesn't help. There's another pike.
I think that's all we can do is just throw them in. Hope we
Like what's going down.
beat them up
So
a bit.
the
We can't win in
parliamentarians are
half.
now starting to attack with their pike.
Those are carried on
They're
with their
starting to
charge.
get back a little bit of what they've been losing earlier, but at the moment
London band through the middle.
they've lost 2 units which have routed off here. And that's all that's routed so far. So at the moment, it looks like the Royalists have got the advantage, but still plenty of time yet for things to change.
It's all going horribly wrong for me. Things were looking pretty good, but then suddenly we've got to see what happens here. I think
Melee to do, mate.
we've still got a melee to do there.
No, on the
I'm falling back here and here, and these parliamentarian cavalry are coming forward quite happily. This unit's got two casualties on it. The pike block are now fighting a big melee, so it's all going to happen this move. I'll report back in a minute. Right, so the Royalists, we're struggling over here now. I had a combat here, he charged me, and I've lost that unit. It routed off the field over here. The pike block are both fighting each other and nothing much happening there. They're both shaken, but neither of them are running away. They're doing well on their morale tests or their break tests. The infantry managed to stand there, although they're now shaken. They're still holding that position, just about, not for long. The dragoons have fallen back here, and they are shaken, but then so are the Royalist unit shaken here. So it's a bit of a bloodbath in the middle. I feel as though the Royalists are slowly being pushed back here.
All right, that's it then.
But we'll see. It's a Royalist move, so we might get something back. In the centre, I don't know what's happening. What's happening over there, guys?
What's happening over here? It's just a standoff here.
Yeah.
The pikemen here beat some musketeers and shot them back, but they're pretty knackered. And
All right. Oh. So there's a lot of knackered troops around, basically.
Around here. This is just a big firefight going on.
He's going 2 times.
What's happening on that far wing? Cavalry, I think.
There's a big cavalry fight going over there, so it's too far away for me to really know what's going on. But there's a lot happening. We've got about another half an hour play, I think, maybe a bit more than that if we're lucky. But at the moment, it's actually poised pretty closely, whereas before it always seemed to be the Royalists that had the advantage. Okay, you can now see there's a big gap all along here because everybody's parted. They all sort of had to do various tests, and there's still a melee going on here, but they both lost 2 men. The Royalists are now managing to recover some of the damage they've received, whereas the parliamentarians are not, because their general isn't as good. So there's a definite pause here, except for this one melee. And over in the middle there, there's a massive infantry battle going on, which I don't know who is winning. You can see lots of parliamentarians are looking very dodgy in the middle there. And there's another gap over there, which people are not getting close to each other. They're just
If we were doing brigade,
just watching from a distance and shooting at each other.
I think we'd have probably gone.
What's happening over there then?
Bit of cavalry breakthrough, but I've lost a lot of men. That lot behind all that. Yeah. Because in the firefight, I've got 2 dice. He's got 3.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So,
cavalry are punching.
so does it look like it's going the Royalist way again or not? Does it look like it's going the Royalist way again or not really?
Just about on the Royalist side, but
Yeah.
it's very close.
Very close, yeah.
We've stabilised it,
Yeah.
but I think we're running out of men. We've stabilised it with the
Yeah, I've lost 3 units over here completely. My artillery were finally able to fire because they were blocked a little bit, and they've done a lot of damage to this unit here.
As you say, we were doing brigade.
So, bit of a pause in the battle, but we're running out of time anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, we'll wait till 10.
Right, it's our turn then, isn't it? We got anything left?
Right, I'll report back in a minute. Yeah, the Royalists have just had a disastrous move. They've lost 2 cavalry units and I think 2 infantry units as well. I'd had a lot of break tests to do and I just rolled absolute rubbish with them. So yeah, they killed infantry and these killed a cavalry unit, and then the unit supporting rolled really badly.
So they went as well. So suddenly the Royalist right flank is looking in dire trouble. We've still got 3 units here, infantry units, although this one and the far one are both shaken. The Dragoons are still surviving, but they're looking a bit beleaguered there. So I don't know what's happening on the other flank, but at the moment the Parliamentarians are certainly winning this flank. But they haven't got many decent troops. These are shaken. They've got 2 casualties. These are shaken. The cuirassiers are okay. So yeah, it looks like the Parliamentarians are winning this flank.
I don't know how.
I don't know how either, but you did. You're winning it. You're winning it. He's a happy man.
An hour and a half ago, Alec, I thought I was completely roasted.
It's the cavalry that's made the difference.
Cavalry's made the difference.
Yeah, they've really done well. My cavalry have done
I
nothing.
think just being aggressive, I think these rules really work if you go aggressive.
Yeah,
Throwing the pikemen in, throwing the cavalry in.
yeah.
It's really hard because generally you've got your musketeers in front and they're susceptible.
They are.
easy to kill.
They get attacked by
They
cavalry.
get caught by cavalry.
Yeah,
or
which is
caught
what's
by-
happened.
which is what's
Yeah. I mean, this unit here managed to stay there for 3 moves, much longer than they should have done, really.
Yeah.
But eventually they broke.
You're unlucky with your cavalry. The morale change.
I was,
you get
yeah.
Very, very unfortunate.
The Royalist cavalry over here have done really poorly, to be honest. The Dragoons have been there the whole move.
They've just done really nothing at all. Much.
They shot away your Dragoons, but
I thought an hour and a half ago, I thought it was all over. I really thought. I was just saying that the thing is because his front rank was all muskets, because he was much more effective at shooting.
yeah.
If we could get into hand against them, we could beat them.
So that's
You have to risk getting 2 or 3 units.
Exactly.
Try, you've got to go.
And I got
if
lucky.
you melee, you get the advantage with a big attacker, don't you? You get a +1, don't you?
These rules are very
But the hedges give you
advantageous
defence,
for
don't they?
attacking.
But when you started to become aggressive in the second half of the game, and you started rolling a bit better as well, because you were rolling
And I
rubbish.
wasn't needing to do command rolls because we were in initiative.
Giving you an obstacle.
They count as defensive, but of course the thing is the musketeers got 3 dice, whereas a pike block's got 6, cavalry got 8.
So was it at the
Even
pike?
with the extra cover.
As long as you don't get shot to bits, as long as you
As long as you don't get disordered going in, that's
So it's going to be my turn next, and all I can really do is shoot and hope that I do enough damage to force these cavalry back. That's all I can hope for. In the middle, it looks as though the Royalists are pushing back the Parliamentarians.
but also this scenario because
Guns, shoot at that pike at the back. Oh, 2 hits and a disorder.
every shot
Right.
we were getting.
Back in a minute. Well, we're now debating what the result is.
We'll have to ask Paul.
The Royalists here took a lot of casualties, but we have got a line of 3 infantry regiments that are all able to do something, whereas the Parliamentarians are in a bit of a bad shape, but they have pushed me back. In the centre, it's what?
Stalemate, I think.
Stalemate in the centre, and the left over there?
It'll be in the afternoon.
I'm not sure the centre is a stalemate, to be honest, because the casualties are just
It looks so.
I think everywhere it looks like the Royalists have caused more casualties. And the
parliamentarians
parliamentarians
can't really push forward.
they can't really do much about it now. They've just run out of steam, the parliamentarians, I think. So
Yeah.
I think it is a Royalist victory,
But only just.
only just.
Yeah.
Considering about 2 hours ago it was good looking like a walkover.
Well,
Yeah.
for the Royal, just went bang bang, wasn't it?
Just the attacks, they just went all out attack and it made a big difference.
What are you doing next week?
Wow. Good game.
Good fun
Be
game.
up to next week.
We are. That's the game. It went the Royalist way very, very slightly. It was very close. The Royalists got off to a good start. Certainly myself fighting against Dom rolled really bad dice at the start and I was rolling quite well. And then things changed. I started to roll bad and he started to roll well. He did struggle a bit to recover when he started to take losses because his commander's only level 7 and that makes quite a bit of difference in these rules. But yeah, it was a really close game. We all enjoyed it. We just ran out of time in the end. Doing that sort of game in an evening can be difficult to get a result. We have to be out by 10 o'clock because it's in a public area. and we could have done with about another hour. We may refight it one day as an all-day game. That would give us a lot more time. If we do, I think we'd just put a bit more width to the table as well. We could have done with an extra table's width, which would give us about another 2 feet, and I think that would mean both sides could manoeuvre a little bit better. So, but other than that, it was a very enjoyable game, and we'll do it again. And if we do, I'll let you know, and I'll record it. Right, that's it. See you soon.